As some of you know, I played my first ever Pokemon game this year, and with 9 months of Pokemon experience under my belt, I wanted to share the top things that I wish I knew before I started playing Pokemon. And make sure you watch all the way to the end because I think we can all relate to the last thing on my list. Number 1, grinding. I first started by playing Pokemon Fire Red, and holy heckin' cow, I had no idea how much grinding I would have to do. The number of times that I would walk from the place that you get healed,
It's a Poke Center.
right, to the nearest patch of wild grass to encounter a wild Pokemon was ridiculous. And I did all of this just so I'd be a high enough level to beat the gym so that I could go to the next area and rinse and repeat. Side note here, I really didn't know the best way to do this. I would cycle through all of my Pokemon for every wild encounter, which just meant that it took me a long time for any of my Pokemon to level up. I think that just took a toll on me mentally more than anything else. I think maybe if I would have just been leveling 2 Pokemon at a time and would have actually seen some things happening, it might have been a little bit easier for me. Also, when I was grinding, I had no idea which Pokemon to have at the front of the party versus which one I should switch to because I had no idea of the matchup, which brings me to number 2. The level of depth in this game absolutely blew my mind. Going into this game, I just assumed that it was a kid's game with cute little avatars, but no. There are over 150 different types of Pokemon, and most of them have 2 different typings that you have to learn. Then you have to learn the matchups. Some of them make sense to a smooth brain boy like me, like obviously water is going to be effective against fire, but some you have to basically memorize, like electric is super effective against flying, I guess. I did have chat, which is helpful. I cannot imagine going through this game without being able to Google a typing chart and wondering why my Pokemon seems to do so well against this one particular Pokemon while I'm facing another one it does absolutely no damage. I also realized that I'm barely scratching the surface here. Some people have tried to explain to me temperaments, stats, and other things that they use for competitive play, but that's just a little bit too much for me at this point. Number 3, and this one might just be me, but how are you supposed to learn how to pronounce Pokemon names? Maybe I'm just a little bit bad at reading, but if you look at this and you see its name, how are you supposed to know it's pronounced Suicune? I've been roasted to a crisp on the way that I pronounce Pokemon names, but if you haven't grown up with Pokemon, how in the name of Arceus are you supposed to know how to pronounce freaking Pokemon names?
It's Arceus.
See what I mean? Some are puns, which I appreciate. Some you can put together just by looking at the dude. Some are just like you actually expect me to be able to figure that out without Googling it? This last one took me by surprise a little bit, but I do feel that most Pokemon trainers can relate to it. I could never imagine the connection that I would have created between me and my little Pokemon. Like, I can't imagine doing a Nuzlocke, nuts locks, and not being able to play with these little creatures that I've created such a bond with. I think it has something to do with picking your Pokemon, naming it, leveling it up, that brings out this strange kind of parental instinct. You get to mourn the losses as well as rejoice in the victories with your little Pokemon, and that's something that I haven't really experienced in other games. People will often ask, Oeg, what's your favorite Pokemon? And that's such a hard question for me to answer because I feel such a connection with so many of these Pokemon that I have in my party. When people ask me that, what I want to say is all the ones in my party plus 2 that I have in my PC because I can't carry more than 6. This magical connection is one of the reasons that I fell in love with this series. Do you feel the same way? Let me know in the comments below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know which Pokemon you want me to try to pronounce in the comments down below. And as always, 사랑해.